Hey everyone, this is Sean Wist with JoBlo.com, and welcome to a special edition of the Star Wars Minute. This will be an in-depth video breakdown of the first trailer for Rogue One, a Star Wars story, where we'll go over official information released by Lucasfilm regarding the plot and its characters, as well as some Easter eggs in the teaser and some story speculation. First off, Rogue One's story takes place right before the original Star Wars film. The movie will follow a group of rebels who manage to steal the plans to the Empire's original Death Star. The film has been labeled as a dark and gritty war film that won't revolve around the Jedi, but rather a group of people with no access to the Force who have to depend on each other in order to complete their mission. The movie's directed by Gareth Edwards, who more recently brought us Legendary's Godzilla reboot. Before we jump into the trailer, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Don't expect many Bothans to die, because that's a reference to the second Death Star plans.
Many Bothans died to bring us this information.
Are we all on the same page? Great. As the trailer starts, we're introduced to Felicity Jones' character,
Jyn Erso.
The name itself might be a nod to Jan Ors of the Expanded Universe, now dubbed Legends, who assisted Kyle Katarn in retrieving the Death Star plans, among other things, in the Dark Forces video games. So Jyn is in Rebel custody in what appears to be the hidden base on Yavin 4. There's a gonk droid in the background there, so we know right off the bat that this Star Wars film is pretty legit.
Forgery of Imperial documents. Possession of stolen property, aggravated assault, resisting...
She's taken to the War Room, which of course looks pretty much exactly like its New Hope counterpart. As you can see, Mon Mothma is here, and she's portrayed by Genevieve O'Reilly, who also played Mon Mothma in Revenge of the Sith. You may not remember seeing her because her scenes were deleted. Because they were terrible. No fault of hers, though. She certainly looks the part.
As a practical matter, the Senate no longer exists.
On your own from the age of 15, reckless, aggressive.
Here's our first shot of Diego Luna's character, who I'm guessing will be paired up with Jyn in the mission to steal the Death Star plans. Now, note the black droid in the background here. We'll be coming back to him when we get a clearer shot. Jyn is about to kick some stormtrooper ass, but check out the guy who's just chilling on the bench in the background there. I'm not sure what's going on in his life. It looks like he just got some pretty heavy news. He probably needs a minute or two to just think about things, figure it all out. Here's Jyn kicking some ass scavenger style. It seems as if Lucasfilm is really digging that angle lately. Folks are already pretty quick to wonder if there may be a connection between Jyn and Rey. It's highly unlikely given the time gap, but you never know. This shot in particular is pretty cool because it doesn't look like it belongs in a Star Wars film. That's actually one of the most exciting aspects of these spin-off films, to present Star Wars in a different light. Gareth Edwards brought a fantastic sense of atmosphere to Godzilla, and it looks like he's going to do the same with Rogue One.
We have a mission for you.
Alright, we got a Star Destroyer just hanging around in front of the Death Star. Note how white it looks. That actually falls in line with what the original Star Destroyers looked like before they adapted a grayish hue as the films went on.
A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know what it is and how to destroy it.
There's the Death Star's super laser being put into place. The shot fades to black before the job is done, robbing us all of that satisfying feeling when something fits perfectly into something else. Thanks, Disney!
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Jyn's tone when she says yes sir makes it pretty clear that she's being strong-armed into this operation, and will probably not be all Poe Dameron gung-ho about it. Now, December is the month after November. It's not January, though. If you've reached January, you've gone too far. Here's a badass prepping for battle shot. That gonk droid makes another appearance, so clearly there's some conspiracy going on here, and that droid will probably turn out to be Supreme Leader Snoke. Yeah, I'm calling that one now. Also, this pilot over here looks an awful lot like Aaron Taylor Johnson, who of course starred in director Gareth Edwards' previous film, Godzilla. Here's our first shot of Ben Mendelsohn, who's just a phenomenal actor. He's playing the film's main villain, just looking like a complete badass. The rank insignia plaque on his chest indicates that he's an admiral. You add in the white uniform and a cape, and he looks pretty grand to me. Here's our first look at some stormtroopers riding around in a frickin' tank, which is awesome. A lot more so than dewbacks, anyway, than lizards. Riding around in giant lizards. We have Forrest Whitaker's character, who looks like a scavenger of sorts who's seen some shit. So pretty much every character he's ever played. I think he'll fit in nicely. This is the first shot of our stormtroopers in black armor. Now, we here at JoBlo.com actually dropped a scoop earlier this year reporting the imminent appearance of these guys, and while they're referred to as Shadow Troopers in the Legacy universe, the term Death Troopers is actually being thrown around. Here we come back to that tall black droid we saw before. Again, our sources gave us some information earlier this year regarding this soon-to-be fan favorite, in that he's an Imperial droid who's repurposed to serve the Rebellion, and will most likely be the character that Alan Tudyk is providing motion capture for. Also, it looks like the scenes here were shot at the Canary Wharf tube station in London. Here's our first shot of Donnie Yen's character, who's about to beat down some stormtroopers with a stick. He can't have a lightsaber because that just wouldn't be fair to them. Note the black X-Wing in the background. Kind of looks like Poe Dameron's from Episode 7. That actually might not be the only Force Awakens reference, however. Now, it's hard to tell if this is actually one or two ships. It kind of looks like one, but, they get blown up. But the design is actually very reminiscent of Kylo Ren's ship. Here's Mendelsohn's character wading through the water past the corpses of stormtroopers. It's a really great shot, and it appears to be from the beachside battle that we saw some of the very first on-set photos from. Alright, so there's a lot of mystery going on in this particular shot. First off, we can see the Imperial Royal Guards here. Anytime we've seen them in the past, they've accompanied the Emperor. There seems to be a bacta tank of sorts in the middle of the room, but the big question is, who is the kneeling figure? The Emperor certainly wouldn't kneel in front of anyone, and Vader never wore a hood once he put on the mask, so for this one we'll just have to wait and see.
If you continue to fight.
Here's a quick shot of Wen Jiang's character, looking like he's having a bit of a rough day. Now we come to the signature shot of this trailer, featuring the Empire's most kick-ass vehicles, the all-terrain armored transports, affectionately referred to as AT-ATs or Imperial Walkers. Note that the heads are a little bit of a different design than what we've seen in Empire, which is fine. This film technically takes place first, chronologically. It's a really amazing shot and gives us that kind of on-the-ground wartime feel that we've seldom experienced in a Star Wars flick. The trailer ends with Forrest Whitaker sounding like a creeper, alluding to Jyn possibly becoming an agent of evil. While I don't see that happening, we do get to see her rocking an Imperial disguise before the title pops up, followed by a neat little rendition of the Imperial March and Force theme playing simultaneously. And that's it for the teaser. Noticeably absent are Mads Mikkelsen's character, as well as Darth Vader, who we've heard will actually have a pretty sizable role in the film. But there's always the next trailer. As you can see, there's a lot to get excited about with Disney's first Star Wars spin-off film, and hopefully that's just a taste of what's to come in a universe with so many stories that can be told. Thank you for joining me in this trailer breakdown. I hope you enjoyed checking out some of the cooler moments of the trailer and maybe discovered a few things. If there's anything you noticed or loved, sound off in our comments section. If you'd like to catch up on Star Wars news on a more frequent basis, follow our weekly video series. Until next time, take care.